So hello and namaste, this is Jubin KC from TechLekh, and this is a video comparison between Huawei Nova 2i and Samsung Galaxy J7 Pro. So let's get started. So kicking things off with the photo comparison, you will not notice much difference, at the first glance at least. But a closer look reveals a different story. You will notice a significant difference in color saturation, exposure, contrast, and the level of detail. Look at this picture of the cupcakes. The one taken with J7 Pro looks is fine, but it lacks the texture detail when you compare it with the one taken with Nova 2i. As you can see, we zoom in the picture, the one shot with Nova 2i has much more better detail. Also, it looks more vibrant with good color saturation, contrast and exposure. You will also notice the picture was taken with Nova 2i is slightly more overexposed. You can see the same thing in the next picture. The green color is strong in the one taken from Nova 2i compared to the J7 Pro. And the photo taken by Nova 2i has much more better contrast. I did notice that Nova 2i sharpens each photo that you take to maintain certain level of details which you can see in the texture in the stones. Let's move on to another picture that was shot in poor light conditions. This one was taken from Nova 2i. It is much brighter, much more colorful picture compared to the dull and washed out picture in J7 Pro. But at closer inspection, you will notice that J7 Pro preserves the level of detail as seen in the building and the trees. Also, the text in the building is much more readable in the one taken from J7 Pro. So in this picture, the dynamic range is better in J7 rather than Nova 2i. I get what J7 is going for, but it does not always work as seen here. Both pictures suffer from noise. One taken from Nova 2i suffers less and looks more preferable. Plus, you also get to use bokeh effect from the rear camera in Nova 2i. This is clearly absent from J7 Pro, so that's the plus point for Nova 2i. Now let's talk about video recording. Nova 2i and J7 Pro supports full HD recording without any stabilization feature. Video stabilization in both phones is more or less similar. Comparing between two videos, you can see the difference in color saturation, which is high in Nova 2i.
We're testing the video for Samsung J7 Pro and Huawei Nova 2i. Saras is with J7 Pro and I'm with Nova 2i.
It kind of looks like the video has been processed through significant color correction. Personally, after watching few video samples, Nova 2i looks much more colorful and happy, where J7 Pro just looks dull and sad. There is another thing you should know about the quality of the sound. Unfortunately, both smartphones does not come with any noise cancellation. However, sound is much more clear and with a reduced background noise in Nova 2i. Next, we move on to the overall experience. Talking about the rear camera, J7 Pro takes a good picture. It takes a softer approach. It tries to give more realistic colors, but as you can see here, it's different in Huawei Nova 2i. Pictures are brighter in comparison. It is mostly due to overexposure, but it works. The smartphone sharpens any picture that you take, which gives it a much needed detail. Speaking about the front camera, I am not a big fan of what J7 Pro has done with it. Let's move on to the features. J7 Pro offers you some weird controls like skin tone, slim face, large eyes, stuffed with half-baked filters. They weren't as good as I hoped, and the results were disappointing. There were rare times when it did work, but most of the time it suffered from same pale and soft effect. But I should say things are much better in Huawei Nova 2i. The intensity of the blur and the position of focus can be changed in bokeh effect, which comes quite handy and often than you might think. So if you don't like the service that you took with the bokeh effect or it appears unnatural, you could literally change it to your liking. And I should tell you about this one weird thing. I continued to jump ship between both the phones, trying to figure out the best camera. And one day it was J7 Pro and the other day it was Huawei Nova 2i, and this continued for some time, which I thought was funny, and some of you might experience something like that, so just a heads up. Going into details, there are a few modes like Auto, Pro, Panorama, Continuous, HDR, Night Shot, Sports and Sound Shot present in both phones, with AR stickers and nice filters. But Nova 2i just has more advanced features like object tracking, image adjustment and the ability to save pictures in RAW files. Also, time-lapse, slow motion and light painting are extra mode included in Nova 2i. So if I had to choose between Huawei Nova 2i and Samsung Galaxy J7 Pro, I would prefer Huawei Nova 2i. And if you feel any different, let us know in the comments below. So like this video, comment and share, and don't forget to subscribe. It's me, Jubin KC. Peace. Oh, this is awesome.